All right, all you devils, happy Friday. Of course, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin today. So here, we'll get to the chart here in just a second. Just do a couple of things real quick. So a big thanks to Ninja Trader yesterday. They were kind enough to let me host a webinar demonstrating our Ninja Trader tool suite. For those of you that joined us, we're both members and subs or just Twitter followers. Big thanks for you guys investing some of your time. I hope you got something out of it. Now, I know you're kind of nature of the way that you have to do that with Ninja. One, you're really tight on time, and two, it has to be entirely educational, right? So it's not promotional. But I was able to go through, kind of the measured move indicator and how we use that. So for any of you that missed it, well, they do have it here. I'm over on I'll put this link underneath the website, or pardon me, underneath the video for any of you that missed it and might have an interest, so you can get right to it. For those of you that attended, I think there was a little bit of a glitch in the first few minutes where you couldn't see my pen. Fortunately, on the replay here, that's all, they've sorted that out. I think it was something to do with the way it was being done on Zoom. My pen, as I was drawing and pointing to some things, was not highlighted, but we did get it sorted out, and it's very easy to see on the replay. So hopefully that'll help a little bit there. But a big thanks there. Any of you that are interested, now just to remind you, right? So you can always come over here if you're all of that content excuse me, is over here on indicators, where it's all specific to Ninja, and these are all really day trading tools. So for example, each one of these has a specific video attached to it. So if you're interested, for example, if you're interested in the Wicked Wave, come over here and you're going to have a video here that not only describe what it does, how we created it, but how it's going to help you as a trader. Right, this is a particularly good one. Right, so anyway, just a big thanks to Ninja and to anyone who participated. I just want to remind you guys that this replay will be here, and they'll probably spit it out in a few emails and tweets. Because it's good for them as well. So again, thanks to all that participated, but I just wanted to draw your attention to that replay for any that either couldn't join us or thought the issue with the pen was problematic. You'll get a better look at it here. Okay, so, and the last thing, I just make this point because I've had a number of people now write me saying, well, hey, how can I learn how to use this stuff and apply it? Well, keep in mind in our plans and prices here, the social membership here at $49 a month, that gets you access to all the trading rooms. So we have a very active group of day traders in the trading room that are focused. We primarily focus on 5 markets in there for day trading, as they are the most technical. We think that they're the best for day trading. So that's an option for you. If you want to participate in that and you want to just maybe hold off on the belt system for now. That's what you're getting here with educational. That's about the belt system. But if you just want to be part of the Discord and the community and interact with us and kind of learn by watching, this is a great way to do it through the social membership. And of course, that was the idea here, to make it much more affordable for people that wanted to get in but didn't necessarily want to go very deep into the Elliott Wave stuff. Right? So another option for you, just keep that in mind. Of course, you can always join us for free if you just want to get kind of a feel for what the vibe is like in the Discord. But additionally, right, as I mention all the time, right, you get free access to the white belt, which is a great place to start if you're interested in our methodology and how we put these four components together and create indeed a methodology. All right, so there you go. Okay, so I think that's all the promo and thanks that I needed to get out of the way. So let's look over here at Bitcoin. Now, see, the interesting thing about Bitcoin here right now. So I was kind of hoping this might resolve here before Bitcoin Friday. Is that often when I'm recording this, you're kind of at a critical point here to where if this, what am I trying to say? If this breaks higher, we got to reconsider the count. So you look at this and you go, well, how the prior counts that we've looked at had considered this to be a pivot high, right? So there is a count that would get you done here, because you can see the last 5 here potentially, right? So we had looked at the idea that we had this as a triangle 4, right? We'd considered this, right? So we would have gone up, so we got 2 scenarios here. Excuse me. One is that this is not a 5 that we haven't completed here. So this would have been the 5 off of the low, right? So I guess. It would have been something along these lines. So 1, 2, 3, triangle 4. We thought perhaps we were done here. Well, what if we kick higher? How are we going to accommodate that? Well, that causes you to pause and rethink the count. So you'd have two scenarios. One would be if this is 3 and this sideways action here is going to hold as the 4. Well, one scenario is that we're about to have a fairly big extension in the 5th. Possible. I think the alternate here is a function of how this area here resolves, because if we were thinking that we were starting an extension in the 5th, right, which is kind of a scenario here that you could take off of the way I have this currently counted, because we can get an impulse here. So to this pivot, hang on, let me turn that off. Sorry, it's my ninja alerts going up. All right, so we could have an impulse here. But this section here, right, is starting to look like, I mean, there's a case that could be made we could have a triangle going in here, right? When it gets this, unclear as to what you have, often it tells you likely a triangle. So if this is a triangle, so in other words, if this ends up being A and we have to wedge a B into that, right, and we're doing something along these lines, and we're going to get a triangle out of here, well, then that eliminates the second, right? So no triangle in the second. That's a rule you can't break. The other possibility here is that we've got to work backwards, and we've got to count this from the low. Now, you guys will recall that early on when this count got started, this was always the problematic section of it, because the start of it was so unclear, because 1, 2, you're kind of screwed here, because it's very hard to identify this with any conviction as to what we have. But we had always kind of considered two scenarios. One is that you'd have to truncate the 5th, right? And then because from this pivot, you can get it, you can make it work. But from the absolute low, what do you do with that first 1, 2? Bit of a problem. So and I think as when we left that thinking, the thought was, well, if we're going to have to recount this, eventually we're going to be back here having to account for that first 1, 2. And is often the case, right? Sooner or later, right, that little problem's going to come back. And I think, right, if we break higher, we're going to have to come back here and start with this 1, 2. Now, for this to support the count as it's here, and again, right, I can hear the Elliotticians already bitching. I'm never here to tell you that my count is the right count, but I want you to look at this as a potential scenario here. So if we have to include this 1, 2, well, we have to account for it somewhere along the line with regards to the subdivision. So the only way that I can see we can get this to work, well, pardon me, not the only way, but one of the ways, so this would be an alternate here based on, right, it's not definitive because we don't know what's coming out of this consolidation. My whole point here is if this breaks higher, well, now we got to work backwards, right? We got to think about where we are from the beginning, because this impulse here has to be accounted for somewhere. So if it's not going to be the 5th, and we aren't just doing an A, I suppose there's a couple of things that could be happening here. This could be, see, the problem you have here, jeez, I'm all over the place. This looks like a 5, right? So trying to force a B in here, it's such a, could you do it? Yeah, you could do the 3, 4, 5 here. So you could go A, B, C, but it feels like such a force fit. It feels like you're just trying to accommodate your count because you don't like where you are in it. Right? So the broad gist of this, it sure does look like that's really 5 swings, doesn't it? Right? That looks like 5 going out of there. Now again, sometimes you've got to just deal with what you've got. But even if I break this open, right? So you can see the 5 in the third here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So you've got a shitty start to it, right? So you're just kind of stuck with the 1, 2 there. But then you get an impulse that comes off of it. Down we go, and now we're kind of stuck with another 3. So this is just so typical of Bitcoin, right? The Elliott count is so often just elusive, right? You can't quite get a handle on it. So I think you gotta be prepared for an alternate here, because this is so unclear as to where we're going. So I look at this and go, we're going higher. We're going higher. So now a couple of things. One is this is pretty technical, right? So we come here, golden zone, right? So we've all looked at that. So that makes you think you got a decent contender here for some sort of a 1, 2. So if we're going to extend, And this is we're gonna take out this high, which I think is a very real possibility. So if I get it just right, swing low, swing high, golden zone, right? So let's just assume the algo gets its target, right? So here, right, if they get it, take note, they've already blown through the resistance from the top, right? So this is already, they're through, right? They're well through that. So how are we going to account for that? So if we just go up here and get that target, well, now we got to start counting backwards from that getting realized. Now we're not there yet. Not there yet. So either, I had two choices. Either I did the recording tomorrow, or we just take a stab at it here based on what we can see at this moment in time. And to me, this looks like it wants to go higher. It looks like it's 5 coming down to a 3, and we're in the push to the 5. So how do we deal with that? Well, again, I come back to we're going to have to reconcile this first swing here as a contender for a 1 with a shallow 2. Now, I know this looks so much like a 4, but you can't get totally locked into to any one count, because counts are changing all the time, right? It's either the blessing or the curse, depending on how you look at it, right? So if you love Elliott Wave, right, you adapt to it, you accept it, right? They're changing, and we adapt as it evolves. If you hate Elliott Wave, you're already saying, well, that's exactly why I don't like Elliott Wave, because it's changing all the time. Right, to each his own, right? But if you're gonna use it, so it always comes down to, is it helping here? Is it helping? Well, at the moment, I would put a question mark on that, because this is so elusive as to what the actual count is here. I'm even just going to take that out. So if we do something like this, if we come down, then you're kind of back here thinking, well, this sideways congestion feels 4-ish. It feels like a 4. It doesn't feel like boom and we're off to rip to a new high here. It feels like consolidation, right? So you can kind of look at it and say, all right, well, it looks like maybe something going on there. We've got this obvious kind of looks like triangle-ish. But right, how do we account for it if we blow higher? Well, how do we deal with that, right? Well, then it's not likely that the way I have it labeled is what's coming out of here. So we're going to come out of here with an impulse if we take this out. Now, of course, it doesn't guarantee it, but that's kind of what it looks like. Now, I showed you guys this last week. I'm just using an ADX indicator. I kind of like the way that this will show you where trends are potentially hitting maximum. So when we get above the 100 level here, well, look, that's when you would want to potentially consider that the swing is coming to an end. Now here's an extreme, right? But of course we come down. So we're down here. We're not even to 20 yet. So we don't have any trend here. But if you look here, if this starts to go, so if we get a push over 20, implying that a trend could be kicking, well, what are we going to do with that? Right, this can't be the 5, because that's not going to be. We're not getting a 2 there. So I think the idea that we're still seeking the larger third is very valid at this point in time. So thus we got to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into a 1, down for the 2. Now it's a squeeze, right? It's tight, but it's doable. You got to go into a diagonal 1 here. It's ugly, I know, right? But Bitcoin often doesn't give you pretty waves. ABC into a 2. So now we had considered this as being the B, C, D, E, and now we're off, right? You go up to complete the impulse and give us our 5. But you can squeeze in there a 1, 2, and you can get the 1, 2 here. 3, 4. I know it's skinny on the 4 up to the 5. So I've got a contender here to complete a third. Right, so if let's do it this way. So if I pull from this pivot here as to my 1, down to my 2, right, on there. Well, I just hit the 1382, 1272 window, right? It's not uncommon for a third. And this is a little, it's like it's dying to go, but it's like there's hesitation amongst buyers, right? You can just feel it wants to go. Well, shit. That's what I see, right? I shouldn't say that, right? It looks to me like it wants to break higher. Now, of course, I'm wrong all the time, right? It's just what everybody is, right? Get used to it, right? Quit trying to be right more than you're wrong. Just go with what you see. So if we break higher, is the count going to help me here? Well, I would say yes, because then I lean into this 5, and I've got my 2. So I need. Well, let's just look at it. Like where would be the point where I can start to lean a little more heavily into the idea that I've got a third going. Well, this would be right where it would be ideal if we can get up here to what, that's 13.6. Can we get that kind of push out of here? Well, if we did, right, this is going to start to get interesting, right? So that would suggest even there that we're putting in the 5. Okay, let me put the whole thing together. 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Now, so first thing you look at that and you go, oh, come on, man, that's my 4? Because it's just a free fall candle. I get you, right? I feel that. It's not great, right? So if you look at the length of time of 2 relative to 4, well, not so good. Which has us, coming back here saying, well, this sideways chop would accommodate that. So if the 4 had to move over, you're going to get better time relationships in the context of the swing relationships. But if this pushes higher, you're stuck with it. So because this looks like the 5, you're going to have to plant the 4 here and go 1, 2 if we get the 3. Already this looks like it's, well, we've got a contender here for a 5. So if this continues on, right? So well, shit, that may not be long enough. So that's likely to be just the 1 of the 3. All right, so it's a little early, right? You can't quite call it the 3 yet. Can't quite call it a triangle yet. I think it's almost always a mistake to call something a triangle, right? I've made this mistake, right? So you think, okay, triangle, excuse me, but until you get that last pivot, it's dangerous, right? To make any assumption here. What can I see? I can see 5. I can squeeze an ABC into there, and this looks like it wants to go 5. So which way is the trend going? So let's just simplify. Do I have higher highs and higher lows? Well, I mean, higher high, higher high, higher high, higher low, higher low. Here's my retrace. Now I'm starting again. Higher high, higher low, higher high. I try to keep it simple. You're kind of stuck in a hurry up and wait here. But I do like the potential here, because the path here to getting more bullish, what we're seeking now, potentially now, is the 3rd relative to this 1, 2. So this all starts to get more bullish. So if we can get this to resolve here, if it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, we finish that, then we get our 3rd relative to this 1, 2. So you think, well, wait a minute. Let's see if I can squeeze that up a little bit. How would that look if this is the 1 and that's my 2? I'd just be getting long enough here. I'd be just getting far enough. Right? See, what makes it problematic is that we're used to a much deeper 2, right? So those are usually not so far away. But with the shallow 2, you need a much bigger 3, right? To just even qualify, we got to get here, right? Assuming this count's going to hold, we got to at least get to the 100. Well, sorry, we don't have to be the longest in the 3rd, but right now, since we don't have a 4 and a 5, our measuring stick would be the 100 of the 1, right? Assuming that this holds as the 1, 2. We got to get at least to 14,308 so that we've got parity with the 1. So could that work, right? So you kind of string that together and say, okay, I can see how I could get there. I can see it. Right, so you again down here, that green line just breaks 20, heads towards 100. That you can see how that would get you there. Right, and then you get to these kind of extremes. You anticipate a retrace is coming. Right, anytime you get over 100, very consistently, that's a great indicator. Right, it's just an ADX, but it's kind of an interesting way that they coded it so you can see these pivots. Now, it's always going up. So 100, whether you have a downtrend or an uptrend, right? It's always it's just the direction of the trend is either red or green. So here, as we went down here, we got red. We didn't get overdone. How about I say it that way? So here we're just trying to start. There's lots of headroom there, right? This has got room to go here. Well, if this goes with it, there goes our 3. And now you're back here going, oh, shit, right? That blows up the count. So this is not likely the 4. So now we're back to dealing with the 1, 2, shallow 2, 1, 2, up we go, right? So it's just very, very difficult to get a real trade here. So if I was just sitting there, so if I'm watching this video, I go, do I want to be a buyer here? Well, I mean, my view is anytime you're buying as the market is already pushed away. So where was the buy? You're a little late to it, right? So here, where was the buy? The buy was right here at this golden zone. That golden zone was 11,128. right? Now we're sitting at 11,848. That's $700 away. So are you late? Well, yeah, you're late. Even breaking that open, it looks like we might have had. All right, so we break the golden zone here, but we've got a contender. So you've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So we lose an algo here. We don't get an algo to support the algo that's already in, right? So the first algo is in right here off of this golden zone. We don't get a second one here, but for the Elliott count, we don't disqualify. So we've got a 1, 2 candidate. Just that, just a candidate. 1, 2. Now we got a kick here. Yeah, I said, I wish I could give you a hard trade, right? You're a little bit late. So this was the play that was there if you're just trading swings right down to the golden zone. And we know how responsive Bitcoin is at the golden zone. That's something you want to think about, right? And it's always, right? Yeah, I've been just hammering this lately, right? So you want to buy them when they come down to support. You don't want to buy them up here as it's about to break out, because what's sitting up here, right? You know, that's sure, right? It's possible you hit that and you get the acceleration, but you know, look, just do this, right? What happened the last time we got here? Right, we got jackhammered by a double top, right? So we now, of course, right, at some point it's going to have to blow through if we're going to go up and get a 3. But you don't. That's the danger here of buying on a breakout, right? Just what happened there. That's exactly this great visual representation. You don't want to buy it up here. You want to buy it down here. I know, shit. I know. I can hear you already, right? Yeah, that's easy in hindsight. Well, I mean, how many golden zones have I put in front of you guys? 5,000. We know how responsive Bitcoin is at the golden zone. So what was your risk reward there, right? So even if you just want to use something, say you're using the 707, right? And there's 13 to 1. So why would you not take that trade? I know, right? I can hear it already. It's easy in hindsight. Well, again, right? I mean, I've at least 5,000 times I've shown that. At least 5,000. So there it is going again. So what do we have here, right? I think we looked at this last week. Golden corner pocket. Right? Anytime there's a golden zone, there's a golden corner, right? So we're going to get it right there. What would we have if we got the median line right there? Now, some people tell you no such thing as a triple top. Right? But if we got a little rejection there and brings it down, well, think about that. All right, so it's a good example, right? You don't want to buy it right here as you're hitting the median line. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that it couldn't just blow up here, but the risk is much higher here because there are traders that do nothing but try and jam at these pivots. You want to see what happens here. If we hit the median line, we get a reaction. Okay, good. Now I can see that I've got a 5 going into the median line. So that sets up the 1, 2. 1, 2. That's the one you buy. You don't buy it up here. But let them put it on sale. Right? Think of it that way. Do you want to pay full retail? You want to buy it on a discount. If I buy it on a discount, well, if I get it wrong, my risk is certainly much smaller, right? That would be your risk as compared to you want to buy the breakout. Well, where's your stop, right? What are you going to use? Random number, random percentage of your account, right? You're not trading the market then, you're trading your wallet. Right, so let's use the market. So if I'm down here, I can use the market. Let the market tell me I'm wrong, not just some pause here. Like, oh shit, I'm levered up. I guess I'm out. And then guess what happens? Right, then it goes. So either you got to trade smaller size so you can withstand the retrace if you get it right. You're not freaking out, going, oh fuck, I got to get out now, right? And as soon as you get out, right, it's just just the way the market works, right? As soon as you get out, then it'll go. Right? We've all seen that hundreds of times, right? It's just right. So why does it do that? My view, right? And there's. You're welcome to your own opinion. My view is because, right, so the market punishes mistakes, always 100% of the time. So if you buy it up here, that's your first mistake. Number one, you're buying right into a previous top. Number two, you're buying right into a median line. So that's the mistake. So the market's going to punish you. It's unbelievably consistent. It's going to punish you by retracing right off the bat. And then you're going to look at that and go, God damn it. Now, why couldn't I have just waited here? So the next question is, well, can you hold that drawdown, right? Did you lever it? Did you just buy small? If you can't hold it, right, at some point, the pain's going to be too much. You got to get out. It'll do that. It's amazingly consistent, right? So how do you deal with that? have a trading plan. My suggestion would be in your trading plan is that we don't pay retail. You don't pay retail. You buy them when they're retracing, right? So it's always, right? It's like, I harp on this, but it's swing, wait for the internal retracement. Wait for it. I know, because you feel like, oh shit, it's going to go, right? You feel like you're going to miss it. There's always a retracement coming. You may have to wait a long time, but there's always a retracement coming. Right? I defy you to show me. You show me everything, anything. There's always a retracement coming. So, can you be patient and disciplined enough to wait for it, or are you going to give in to the FOMO? Because right now, if I were to say go ahead and buy it here, that's just a FOMO trade. There's no technical reason to be a buyer here. Now, if we complete this 5 and we come down, yeah, I got a reason now. I got an internal retracement that I'm looking to go external. But right now, you might as well go to Vegas. Let's throw some craps. Let's throw the dice around. Get a free drink. Pretty girl's going to bring it to me. We'll just have a little fun. That's what you're doing here if you're buying that. You're just gambling. Not that you're gonna hit it every now and then. You're gonna get a few, but over time, that's the road to ruin. I know, right? Bitcoin never easy, right? I wish I had an easier, right? So every now and then I get comments like, "Don't you have any conviction in the trade?" Well, so I've been a bull for 3 years, right? So I think there's a degree of conviction there. But in terms of what I'm trying to teach you guys is, I start this video because we're now in this pattern now where we do Bitcoin on Friday. It's kind of worked out really well. But at the moment that I'm recording this, it's 11:30. That's when I start, right? So in terms of, I could wait until Sunday at 4:30. Maybe I'll get the exact perfect time to say, okay, well now I'm recording this video. Now's the right time to buy it. The point is to teach you guys so that I don't have to guide you through this. It's a simple concept. Get a swing, wait for a retracement. That's not complicated. Now, if you can figure out the Elliott count in there, like I think we've got a 1, 2 here. Okay. If I can get a 5 here, just give me a 5 and give me a little 3. Right? That's not complicated. There's your trade. I don't need to be here to tell you to buy that. All I'm trying to do is teach you so that you can get to the point where you can go, all right, I see it, I got it, there's the 5. I can wait, I'm disciplined, I don't FOMO. Boom. That's what I think is coming. No, shit, of course, right? So I wouldn't be in here without a stop, right? If you're trying to swing trade this, here's a reasonable place to put a stop. If you're itching to get long, because you see what I see, we all have our own biases, right? But I'm biased bullishly. So what I see is it's coming, right? I got a golden corner. It's going up to get that target, right? That means new high. What that means is, so why would I say that? Well, what do we know about trading principle number 1? If this pivot holds, I got 80% odds of getting there. 80%. Tell me where else in trading do you get 80% odds? Right? That's a rhetorical question because I know the answer. Nowhere. No place else do you get those odds. So what more do you need here? Right? So I've got 80% odds of getting there, but do you want to buy it now? No. Let's let it get there. Now maybe it gets it here, we double top. Maybe it gets it here, we get a new high. If we get a new high, then I know that the idea that we had topped here is wrong, and we're either extending in the 5th or we're just getting started and going up to get the 5 at the next degree. Wait for it. It'll come. It'll come. Okay, guys. Yeah. Kind of an impromptu rant there. I didn't really mean to go there, but it's so elusive here right now. I'm trying to give you something, but I wouldn't buy that there. I wouldn't, right? So why would I advise you guys to buy that? I wouldn't touch that there. Right here. Now down here, yeah. Get here. Now give me a 50 or a 618. Right, so now I know where I am. Then the Elliott's helping. The median lines are helping. The fib retracements are helping. I know what the algo did last. I know where they just got their target. That's helping me. All right, guys. Didn't mean to get on a rant there. Okay, back to you. I'll try and get one more. Okay, talk to you later.